Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley.
And I'm Dennis Bragg.
Thanksgiving is considered one of the busiest travel days of the year. As we all know, weather can play a big part in those travel plans.
And today in the Missoula Valley, weather fairly calm. No snow or major weather getting in the way of people last minute shopping or getting their train, their plane tickets, all that type of stuff. But we do have potential high winds in the forecast moving into our area tonight.
So let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost for what is shaping up out there. Aaron.
Yeah, we're going to continue to see these warm temperatures and the scattered precipitation right into your Thanksgiving. Maybe a little bit of a break for those of us in the southwest quarter of the state earlier on, but we do have that wind to talk about. Today, though, Hamilton First Security Bank ICAM dodging the showers once again. Missoula, we've picked up 200 of an inch of rainfall at the airport. Kalispell about 400 of an inch so far. But as we approach Thanksgiving Day itself, by the afternoon and definitely throughout the evening, that's where things are going to start to get windy. High wind watches will eventually be upgraded to high wind warnings or wind advisories. These go into effect Thursday afternoon through the early morning hours on Friday. We could see some issues with this, folks. I've got more details coming up.
The Christmas shopping season ready to roll at Missoula Southgate Mall, and while the new AMC Theater won't be ready to show the new Star Wars film to holiday shoppers next month, that facility and a new neighborhood market are in the final stages of construction. This will be the second season for the mall's massive $64 million expansion project to impact holiday shopping. But unlike last year, when entrances were closed and the parking lot was full of detours, mall customers won't notice many changes this season. What everyone's asking about is the opening dates for the new Lucky's Market and the 900-seat dine-in theater that have been taking shape. We asked Southgate Mall manager Tim Winger for an update, and he told me both businesses should be ready to go before spring.
Well, the theater's going really well. If there's been any holdups, it's been just the transition between two major corporations coming together and then one not doing things the same way as the other. But I think all the things that are different than what we originally thought they were going to be are improvements to the theater, so the experience will be great for moviegoers, and we're super excited about it. And it will open in the probably end of the first quarter next year.
The Southgate expansion is expected to not only preserve more than 1,200 existing jobs, but create an additional 375 new permanent jobs when it's finished.
A routine traffic stop led to a Tuesday night high-speed pursuit and arrest in the Mission Valley. A Polson police officer attempted to pull over a vehicle near St. Joe's Hospital around 7 o'clock for a traffic violation, but the driver took off. The officer then pursued the fleeing vehicle and learned that the vehicle had been reported stolen in Missoula. Polson police say this chase reached speeds of up to 100 miles per hour on Highway 93. Police say the driver has been identified as Jay Vallejo. He then drove off-road several times through fields, a yard, and an irrigation ditch before returning to the roadway. Vallejo was then taken into custody near Pablo and was taken to the Lake County Jail. Authorities also say some stolen items are believed to have been in that stolen vehicle.
A new Montana rape law is making the definition of consent much clearer, and that's good news for prosecutors, according to Missoula County Attorney, Deputy County Attorney Susie Boland. Supporters of the new state law say the old statute didn't take into account the victim's natural reaction to freeze during an attack instead of fighting back.
Before, without consent was force or a victim who was in a position of being incapable of giving consent because of age or because of extreme intoxication or physical helplessness, being asleep, being unconscious, those things. What those statutes didn't catch, of course, were the victims who were freezing and not saying really yes or no. And offenders take advantage of that.
As of October 1st, Montana law changed the definition of consent to have sex. The presence of yes, physically or verbally, is now required to have consensual sex. And the absence of no doesn't mean that the person wants to have sex. That's a big change from when the old law was written, which didn't take into account new information about how victims respond during and after an assault or any unwanted sexual contact.
We have a definition that I think is clearer for everyone. It's not just for the criminal justice system. It's for everyone. Courts and police and prosecutors certainly, but also people who are starting those phases of their lives where they're trying to figure that out, I think have a much, much clearer idea about what consent actually means.
Part of the language of the new law comes from the Uniform Code of Military Justice, stating clothing and previous relationships are not indicative of consent.
The Girl Scouts organization is recommending parents embrace a different approach when it comes to their daughters hugging people, including relatives.
The organization says it's about setting healthy boundaries throughout life, but the no hugging suggestion is rubbing some people the wrong way.
CBS's Laura Podesto spoke with a child psychiatrist about this controversy.
Could hugging be harmful? This holiday, the Girl Scouts of America is telling parents not to insist that their child show affection toward relatives.
I don't think little girls or little boys owe anybody a hug.
In a blog post, the Girl Scouts wrote, telling your child that she owes someone a hug, either just because she hasn't seen this person in a while or because they gave her a gift, can set the stage for her questioning whether she owes another person any type of physical affection. Child psychiatrist Dr. Judith Joseph agrees with this advisory, especially considering recent headlines of sexual harassment.
Parents should be teaching their young children, boys or girls, that their body belongs to them and no one has the right to touch them.
But some parents believe the Girl Scouts are overreacting, saying a hug is a good thing.
Definitely positive and reinforcing and loving and being loved.
I have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy, and they always hug and kiss their parents, their grandparents, our relatives, when they get something or when they haven't seen them in a while.
The Girl Scouts say a smile, high five, or even an air kiss are all great alternatives to the traditional hug.
You have to teach your children professionalism and prep them for the world in general, so a handshake should be fine.
She emphasizes it just comes down to the child's preference and level of comfort, whether it's holiday season or any other time. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
The Girl Scouts say their advice doesn't apply to every situation and that parents and caregivers are in the best position to judge the conversations they have with their children. Well, preparations are underway for the annual Goodfellows Thanksgiving feast tomorrow at Fuddruckers in Missoula.
It's quite the tradition. MTN's Augusta McDonald is down at the restaurant and joins us now live with a preview. Augusta?
Thanks, Joe. Dennis, yeah, I'm here outside of Fuddruckers where there's lots of people headed inside to get their typical burgers and fries, but they're actually preparing something right now that's not usually on the menu. Tomorrow, they're going to have a free Thanksgiving dinner for everyone in the community.
From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., everyone is welcome at Fuddruckers.
Completely free. You just got to show up and we'll feed you. We got turkey, stuffing, gravy, potatoes, corn, pumpkin pie. There's, the games will be on for the kids, and, there's lots of people to come talk to.
He says they expect about 450 people who need a home away from home or can't afford the cost of this holiday dinner.
Thanksgiving is a very expensive meal to have, so, some people can't afford it. So we like to, target those people the most.
Donations and discounts from their vendors and volunteers from the Goodfellows Service Club help pull this dinner off for its 6th year.
Again, that dinner is tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can just come down and it's free. Bring your family or just bring yourself because there's going to be lots of people here to talk to. Reporting outside of Fuddruckers in Missoula, I'm Augusta McDonald for MTN News. Back to you.
All right, Augusta, thank you. When you're done having a nice meal, there's another tradition you can have fun with, the Missoula Carousel. It's open on Thanksgiving. Thanks to their generous volunteers, guests can enjoy free rides at the Carousel tomorrow from 11 in the morning until 3.
More than 45 million Thanksgiving turkeys and side dishes will grace the table tomorrow, but that also opens up opportunities for food poisoning. How to make sure you don't get sick coming up.
And Montana political insiders are ready for next year's political battlefield already. We'll take a look at which race everyone's looking at already coming up on KPAX.